Welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, having a conversation with Mark Borkowski. He is president of Mercantile Mergers and Acquisition Corporation in Toronto. Mark, I just want to get a sense, because you're such an expert with all those decades of experience in mergers and acquisitions. How is Canada comparing? Are we losing out on opportunities, or is capital looking elsewhere because of a lack of competitiveness? What's your assessment of things?
Canada's not losing out. I mean, we have a very vibrant investment community here. So many Canadian deals don't necessarily stay in Canada. I mean, when we're representing a company for sale, I mean, we will contact an international group of buyers in order to get the very best fit.
Mhm.
But as Canadians go, it's a vibrant market here. The private equity organizations are very active. Despite what anybody may say, the banks are very active. And you know something? Thank God for BDC, because BDC and the government initiatives are supporting Canadian businesses to
Explain
expand,
to our
grow.
audience what the BDC is. They may not be
The
aware of it.
Business Development Bank.
Yep.
I mean, the Business Development Bank is a Canadian bank funded by the federal government. It's administered by the federal government. They're national. They go out of their way to help private business. So they have been a strong force in keeping the Canadian market as vibrant as it is. I mean, without the BDC, frankly, we would be way far behind.
Mm.
They fund real estate, they fund acquisitions, they have a venture capital group. They're all well funded, and their professionals are top notch. So, in many of these transactions, I think if you reach out to many of your clients or my clients or any Canadian business, if they haven't been contacted by the BDC, I would be quite surprised.
Mm.
And most of them might have loans underwritten by the BDC.
Gotcha.
And then there's all the others. I mean, let's not forget about Roynac, Bank of Montreal. They're all looking to put money out. The only difference today, Tony, is since they've become a little bit, I'll use expression, anal. So as they're doing these transactions, they're now asking for greater certainty.
Right.
So there's something now called, and this is where the accounting firms and some of the other professionals, the CPAs, are benefiting from. They're asking now for something called a quality of earnings report. So as you've reported all your due diligence, you've completed the transaction, your purchaser has lined up the capital, the operating structure has been set up, everything is ready to go, and they come back and say, now we need a quality of earnings report. We have to verify the earnings of that company. That's another stall tactic, and of course, there's an additional expense. However, that's probably the only barrier from deals being consummated as quickly. The banks are lending. So don't let anyone tell you, maybe not in real estate, but they certainly are looking to fund acquisitions.
Can I just maybe this is going down a particular rabbit hole, but just get your assessment of venture capital as opposed to this M&A and private equity. What's your sense? Because I've heard and have had some experience that the VC markets are not very robust right now in Canada.
The VC markets, and I don't work in that market, but
No, I know
certainly
that.
have many colleagues. It goes through exactly as your show, through booms and busts. So they've gone through different phases of call it investment. So I think we're now at the end of a cycle in the fintech cycle. I mean, the number of fintech deals that were funded that have not really come to market, where the venture capital community's kind of backed off. So they're in a bit of a lull at the moment. But I'll tell you, the Canadian venture capital community, there's an association, and there's easily active members in the group of at least 120 active investors in venture capital in Canada alone. That would be about 20 times that size in the United States. It's a healthy community. But at the moment, we're seeing biotech come back. The medical device industry, which was in a bit of a boom in, say, from 2016 to 2018, where we saw a lot of new medical devices come to market, that market's kind of died off. So it goes in bits of phases. And frankly, I'm not sure what's hot at the moment.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But there's a lot of money looking for good deals. But all these organizations, and this is where I've jumped into venture capital.
Right.
I attend the University of Toronto entrepreneurship sessions where they've got these incredible people that have started these companies. They put out an incredible business plan, and they said, we're looking for $10 million. We've got all this intellectual property. We've invested all this time. Here's our software. Here's our hardware. Here's everything prepared. And they say, give us $10 million. Well, the transactions that I propose to these people, which is not popular, is to say, okay, I'm
Mark,
going to find
hold on
someone.
to that thought, because that's I know.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're just going to take another brief break, but we'll
Go
come
ahead. Go
right
ahead.
back
Go ahead.
for
Go
that.
ahead. We'll come right back.
Please stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.